Big up, blessings. Welcome back to the channel, lads. Hey, listen, I saw on Twitter, and after yesterday, we had the conversation as well. Obviously, we had a great conversation on it. But I thought, you know what, let's do a video on it, man. Who's going to have the better season if Arsenal win the Champions League and Liverpool win the Premier League? What set of fans will be the most happiest? I've seen some of our fans crash out, bro, because they don't want Arsenal to win it. I don't care. Like, for me personally, I don't really care in it. I don't really care who wins it, but it is what it is. Big up to Savage, big up to Gina building. And them, as a man them first and foremost. And then I've got a couple of questions along the lines of what we're gonna speak about to ask you, man. But yeah, should be interesting. Should be interesting.
All blessed, man. Literally all blessed, man. Good afternoon as well. Good afternoon to everybody in the chat. You know what I mean, man? Good vibes, man. Good vibes.
You already see Scraps in the building. Big up, bro, man. Man said that. You're taking a piss with that thumb. Nah, bro. Not taking a piss. It's just Arne Slot chilling, bro. He's mad because some of our fans are mad as well. If Arsenal win the Champions League, it means it's a bigger season than Liverpool season. So I'll go to you first, Sav, bro, because it was a good conversation yesterday, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask you this one first, yeah. Who's had the more impressive season? So who's had the more impressive season? So let's base this off of Arsenal winning the Champions League and Liverpool winning the Premier League. That's what we're basing it off. So it's the end of the season. Both teams have hit gold.
That's see, before you said based on them both already winning, I was gonna say Liverpool on it, but because Arsenal haven't won the Champions League yet. If Arsenal win the Champions League, oh my God, dude, why you set me up here, man? Because it's gonna be Arsenal, I think. If they up until now, no, because we've already won. The league's done pretty much.
Yeah.
And they're second, but they haven't been in a title race like that. Well, they can pick when they can. Technically, everyone can pick and choose when they think the title race was over. For me, I was kind of sure Liverpool's winning the league by Christmas, and it like once you got into the new year, I was like, yeah, this is done. And there weren't really no shaky moments. I think we had lost to we dropped points against Villa, and then he got down to 6 points or something like that. But then we had a game in hand, and yeah, I would say Arsenal overall, only because it's not impressive in terms of what I've seen on the pitch. Really, it's more of to go win the Champions League, but they've had bare injuries, so that's what I would say. And I've not been that impressed by the league anyway. So the quality of the teams in the league, but I think just the fact that they've got their DMs up front on it, so. I don't know why G's laughing, but I understand.
No,
I was laughing at the comment, not what you said.
Oh, okay.
No, but what do you then think?
It's aggressive.
Nah, because the question in it, that's mad, because he just literally said that Arsenal have had a better season if we go by the end of the season. G, what are you thinking then, bro? Champions League, Arsenal, I know you put who you want to put in the final, they win. Liverpool clean up the Premier League, they win that. In your opinion, who's had the better season?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it will be Arsenal, man. I think they'll look at it as a more success. I don't know, because Premier League is still Premier League, innit? So to win that is highly successful. That's a massive achievement. 38 games as well that showed the level of consistency. But I agree with Savage, man. Don't think the league's been that good this season. Don't think Liverpool have been that good this season. I don't know. I'll lean more towards, it's kind of close, but I will lean more towards Arsenal winning the Champions League. I just think for the team that they've got right now, for what they're doing right now, what they're trying to build towards, whereas I don't look at Liverpool as building towards anything. I kind of just see this as its own standalone thing, where it's oh, you won the league. Okay, fair enough. Nobody expected it. Well, bar a few people. No one expected it. It's just happened. Where do we go for it? I'll be honest, it's almost all right, where do we go from here? what do we do now?
I agree with you there, when you talk about building. When you talk about building, I agree. Yeah. Just based off take away the time span of how long Arteta's been there. When I hear the Arsenal, I say the level-headed ones in it, and when it's not in the middle of talking, they've just won a match. When I hear them talking, they sound very optimistic about the league going forward. about their team and stuff like that. Like I'm listening. I heard some of them. I don't agree with this, but I'm not an Arsenal fan or whatever. But some of them are talking about, which is kind of a shit mentality. But like, oh nah, like this is the beating of Real Madrid is enough already. Like whatever happens from here, this is just. And I'm like, no, not whatever happens from here, because you get dumped out the next round. The game really doesn't matter anymore. But they and it's almost like they'll have to speak to an Arsenal fan. But there was a period on the club we were still more successful. But we were there was a phase that we was in like this, and the only difference is that we got to the end of stuff. So we got to a Europa League final, we got to a Champions League final and stuff, where they don't seem to do that. But they seem to have the same kind of attitude at the time, where it's like, nah, because we feel like we're building, whatever you say to us ain't really going to get me down at the moment, because we're on the way somewhere. And then we were so sure we was going to get somewhere that once we lost the Champions League final, and then Klopp was like, nah, we're going to win that again. We're going to win it next year. We did. Like, we kept losing stuff one year and then winning it the next year, bro. On some, like, you get me? So, yeah.
Listen.
Enz, what's your opinion?
Yeah, for real.
Listen, bruv. You man, I already get put through the sword anyway, man. Everywhere I go on different streams, you man say your piece, bro. I'm tired of getting into trouble, bro.
Nah, but you're here now, so
you're here, bro.
I'm always getting into trouble when I share my opinion.
No, say the truth. You got LFC top on. Say the truth, blood.
I don't think so, bro. I don't personally care if Arsenal win the Champions League, and I don't think it's a bigger season than ours.
But that wasn't the question you asked.
Yeah, you don't try to do that.
You didn't ask if we cared. You asked us who had the better season.
All right, I'll go back to the original question. So everyone that's joining in, and guys, it's a call in as well. So I'll put the link in. If you want to drop in, come and have your say. Come and have your say, man. So the original one was who had the more impressive season. So for me, I think we've had the more impressive season. I think, look, they used to call us a cup team, and it was like easy to just win a cup, innit? You used to be like, oh yeah, it's only just rounds, and then you're gonna have the Anfield when you get that second leg or the first leg at Anfield. That's how you guys go through. But to slug it out for 38 games in a season with injuries, with like refereeing, like loads of different things that happen throughout that. I'm not saying that doesn't happen in the Champions League, but you can tell it's a lot better refereeing stuff. In the Premier League, bro, all we talk about is these mad little, refereeing decisions every damn week. So to slug it up for 38 games is massive, bro. Like, I can't take them just winning the Champions League. Yes. For them, yeah.
Nah, you know what? No. I'm on it now because I've got these questions in it. I need everyone to tell the truth as well. Enz, tell me the truth now, innit?
Go on.
Because I'll be honest, bro. When Liverpool was winning stuff and not winning the league, obviously not with the FA Cup and League Cup, and I couldn't use that because it would just sound like I'm taking the piss.
Right.
But I would have been how Arsenal fans are being now. Whereas if we win the Champions League in a season where some other team wins the league, and if that team's not going to win a treble or something like that, man, they wouldn't be able to tell me that their season's more impressive unless Liverpool finished like 9th or something like that. So, I see why they would be acting like that if they go and win it, and you're trying to argue with them, and I want to know. I don't know if you're going to lie to me on that, bro.
No, go on. I'll be honest.
So when we've done that, because I'm not one. I'm not one of these as well. I've spoke about it. I hate when Liverpool fans pretend like finishing second was successful because it was 1 point. They always and I hate the fact that everyone still says quad chasing season, because every season's a quad chasing season. And we failed, and we keep speaking of it like it's a trophy, bro. And everyone uses that. So if everyone can use that to be impressive, and I'm hearing man say we were 1 point and 1 goal away from winning the quad, and they use that. If someone goes and wins the actual trophy, bro, I can see why they think it's more impressive, bro. That's all I'm saying. So even if it's not more impressive, I can see why they would agree to that, because I would as well.
What's your question then, Sav? I'll be open and honest.
When Man City won the league and we won the Champions League, but we finished a point behind them, and it was like, we are the champions of England, and the we are the champions of Europe. Was you saying that we had a better season?
I don't think I did. Like, I can't remember if I said something on the stream just for bants, but if I go to how I know I feel, it was just like I was just in what we did. I was never thinking like, because they just won the Premier League, and it just is what it is. But to win the Champions League and see our fans and the way they celebrated, it felt like we only won something. I didn't care what the others did, so I didn't compare.
You see what you just did there? You said they just won the Premier League, and that's just it. Yeah, that's us now.
Literally.
Yeah, I'm saying it in a way as because I was used to them winning it. So I'm like, bro, you're not going to impress me by winning it. That's all it is. That's for me personally. So winning the Champions League, I'm like, do you know what? I know how tough it is, but it's us in it. So it's us as Liverpool fans, and I know we don't win a lot of trophies. So when we do win a trophy, I celebrate as if it's only us winning it. If, for an example, though, I don't think I've been in a situation, if I'm being totally honest, where a team that I didn't maybe Leicester, but then I was like, I was happy for them, man, when they won it, like kind of thing, innit? So, but I don't think I've been in a situation like I'm used to Man United going on runs. I'm used to Chelsea going on runs. I'm used to
I agree.
City going. So I've never been in a situation where two teams that's not expected to win something win it. So like Arsenal not expected to win the Champions League, win it. Liverpool not expected to win the Premier League and win it. I don't think I've been, as a fan, been in that situation. So if I'm being totally honest, bro, I don't personally think it is, but I can understand the opposite argument of their fans going, no, it's bigger. But I won't get involved in that conversation. And I won't be sitting there going, I'm going to cry about it because now the Premier League feels like it's just the Premier League. Nah, bro.
I don't think you'd get involved in the conversation either, but I know that there's going to be bare Liverpool fans moaning still. And really, like I said yesterday, if you're not insecure about it, let them say, they're saying it amongst their own fan base. They're not coming to you, bothering you about it. True. So if you're you losing the mind, you see the Master fan today talking about, that's different when they're talking about stuff and not won anything. We're laughing at them like weirdos, blood. Like why they're celebrating stuff that ain't happened? But when it's the opposite way around and they're in their own fan base and we're in ours and we're celebrating the league and they're celebrating the Champions League, and man are talking about, see the Master fans talking about they're the better season than Liverpool. So what? So that's natural. That's what you would say because it's I know everyone tries to change it, and I'm being deadly honest here, bro. I would have changed stuff when I was younger all the time, bro, just based on I'm biased to Liverpool in it. So because of that, and the Champions League is the biggest trophy, bro. Everyone will always say the league's the bread and butter. Okay, it's the truth. But the Champions League is the biggest trophy. Like, it's actually the biggest trophy. You're the champ. You can't be in, like, remember before you couldn't be in the Champions League without winning the league, bro. So it's the upper echelon. It's the best, all the best teams from all the best leagues on it. So for that reason, it's like I understand why they do that. Impressive it's an awkward one. You done some cool word in there because it's throwing me off a bit because it's like I'm not actually impressed by any of the teams, bro. So that's why I had to use the fact that they've got all them injuries. So then it becomes impressive because one, before they played everyone was saying they can't beat Real Madrid and they can't do anything. Everyone was saying they can't. And remember, this is based on if they win the Champions League, not now.
Yeah.
But everyone before, every time they were coming up against something, they're like, oh yeah, you shit, blah blah blah, you shit, you can't do this. And obviously Havertz and that was shit, and then he got injured, and Jesus, and then he got injured, and Saka was injured, and Odegaard was injured, and then their DM is literally their striker now. So it becomes more impressive because they're shit. So unless all of a sudden everyone's gonna go, no, you Arsenal, you should win the Champions League because you're one of the best in Europe. You weren't saying that 3 months ago. You're saying there was shit. That's the reason why Leicester was so impressive. Like if we had won the Champions League the season Leicester won or Man City, people would have still said Leicester's was more impressive because the season before they escaped relegation, bro. So they're not even supposed to be close to this. It's like when G said yesterday, who's gonna get Premier League Manager of the season? I'm gonna pick Slot in it. But if Nuno finishes like third or second, the reason why is because it's expectation. They're going to be like, well, Nottingham last season, you were like on the edge of relegation. Like they were just outside of it. Even though it's not quote unquote true, it's all subjective. But that's always going to be the perception, isn't it? It's always going to be like that. Two heavyweight boxers go up against each other. Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua. Just because of how Ruiz looked, everyone was, oh my God, this is the greatest upset. No, they're both heavyweight boxers. Anything can happen, but perception is AJ don't lose. He got punched up. So that's kind of my view on that. Obviously, just as a Liverpool fan, fuck Arsenal, I can give a shit about them.
Yeah, big up to Nick that's jumping in as
Big
well.
up,
This is the original question, Nick, and we're chopping up. It's a call in as well. So guys, if you're watching, you want to have your say, jump in, bro. Let's chop it up, man. Who had the more impressive season? So we've gone with Nick. At the end of the season, Liverpool's obviously clinched the Premier League, and we've gone with Arsenal's now won the Champions League. Who would you think would have had the most impressive season?
There's the footballing aspect and then the optics aspect. Football-wise, you would say the team that finishes first in the league, because as I heard you guys say, it's much harder to be consistent over 38 games than it is over 15 games all up in a knockout round. That being said, though, you're going to take on opposition from different leagues in Europe, different players, different class of players, quality of players, managers, tactics, etc. So it has its own thing in there. If you're looking at it from an optics point of view, the team that wins the Champions League is normally always seen as having like a great season, especially if they haven't won their domestic league, which Arsenal haven't, and we have. So everyone's going to say Champions League is going to be first, Premier League second, FA Cup, League Cup in Premier League English terms, right? However, I still would always say your domestic title is always the most important for you. Champions League is great, but for me, domestic title is always the most important because, think about it. If we got through to this tie, for example, if we beat PSG and we beat Villa, for example, it would have been ourselves and Arsenal punching it out to be in a final, and then you might have even seen the team win the Premier League, going to a Champions League final, Barca leading the La Liga. They're looking for it, Inter looking for it as well. PSG already won their league, so it goes to show like the level of quality. Arsenal, I think for me, if they do go on to win it, you got to give them their praise because as Savage said, nobody expected them to be where they are right now. But the other thing is as well, if they are going to go all the way, you have to look at the context as to how they got there as well. Players missing, no striker, centre back out, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The adjustment is all there to be seen. I don't know, impressive. Liverpool have been impressive. 26-game unbeaten run in the Premier League. That's crazy. Arsenal have also been impressive, slapping up PSV, getting past Real Madrid 5-1, and who knows what happens against PSG. Of course, this conversation will be all irrelevant if they get knocked out by PSG. But as it stands, the hypothetical is they win, we win. I always say it's harder to win a domestic league because you have to be so consistent, but the Champions League is the Champions League. It's as diplomatic as conversation.
Yeah, because let's have it right. I said it to GNN just everyone was watching the Man U game. If Arsenal get knocked out in the next round and Man U win the Europa League, bro, they're not going to give a damn about what league position they're in because one, they're going to get the Champions League qualification of winning it.
Yes,
and they win the trophy. And when you're just left there with no silverware at the end of the season, unless you're a team that is not expected to be around them spots at all and getting just Champions League spot like a Nottingham or someone like that or Bournemouth, bro, nobody cares on it. Nobody cares. So,
yeah, if United or Tottenham end up taking out Europa League, they're not going to give a shit about the season they just had in the Premier League because everyone says, positions, league positions, etc., etc. Ten Hag won 2 trophies and they finished in 8th and whatever it was, right? But ultimately, they don't remember where they finished. They look, hey, we got a trophy with our name on the end of the season. So
yeah, that's the worst one, because they've messed up the league. We've given everyone like these participation trophies in 5th place Champions League and all that. Now it means that you can do what Man U and Tottenham are doing. They haven't done this on purpose, by the way, but if they go and win the Europa League, it doesn't even matter if they've had a shit season anymore. Because they
won trophies.
Get the same teams that were getting, who are 5th, 4th, 3rd and 2nd and 1st get, leave first because you get the league. So there's 4 spots and you get the same as them, but I get a trophy as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
It's mad. It's mad how they rank the teams and how they end up qualifying for the next season after. Because think about it, United can finish in 12th or 13th or 14th. And I saw a post apparently Amorim saying he's gonna just play the kids, maybe even if it's jokingly like focus on Europa League, which I would. I mean, they're not playing for anything in the league right now. So throw all your eggs in the Europa League basket, take on Bilbao over 2, and then play the final in Bilbao as well, which would be a bit of a mad one there, and then try and win that final, and then get back into the Champions League for winning a trophy. Never mind your positioning where you finish, which people say is sort of like a false. It's like a false reasoning as to why you're there, because like whilst you earned it from winning the trophy, you didn't actually show yourself to be a team worthy of competing on those fronts in like a league knockout format sort of a thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
I've got another one for you guys then. So which trophy means more then to you guys?
I already gave my answer, bro.
No, you said the Premier League, you slugged it out, and you said the Champions League is a Champions League. That ain't really an answer. You got to pick one now. So which side of
that's what I said optically. For your domestic league, well, which trophy means more? Overall, again, Champions League is going to be the one everyone's going to look forward to and say, yes, the Champions League is a Champions League, bro. You could stink it like us, stunk it out in the league in 2005, won the Champions League. We didn't give a shit. We didn't care who won the league in that season. We won the Champions League. That's all that matters. I honestly, your league should be your first and foremost priority. But again, Champions League is a Champions League. If it didn't have the prestige behind it, I mean, it wouldn't have the same sort of flow.
So which one then, Nick?
Yeah, Champions League. It's the Champions League, bro. Think about it.
I ain't arguing. I'm just asking the questions, bro. Sam, G. Which trophy means more, blood? Because
which one means more, which one I want more? It's two different
hang
things.
on, wait. I misunderstood the question. Fucking hell. I'm thinking. I understood it as like which trophy is like, wow, what a trophy. Like which trophy means more. Fuck, that's an open-ended question, bro. That's loaded as fuck.
It's not even that. The thing is, the question can't really be answered because it's contextual to every individual.
That's exactly what I'm
why
saying.
I'm
like
asking the individuals on the panel. Everyone's gonna have their own opinions.
No, I mean I meant like contextual to well, individual because we all support a team, right?
Yeah.
But contextual to fans of whatever club, i.e., it's more bigger for Arsenal to win it because they're not going to win the Premier League. It's bigger for
us. The league is bigger for us.
You know what I mean? Because like,
I'll just go Champions League. Yeah, I was going to say if we didn't win the Champions, if we didn't win the league 5 years ago, then the answer's going to end up being the Premier League. We won loads, but I weren't alive for them.
Yep.
So,
and now you want number 20. So this one does mean more for us.
Yeah.
This means more.
But that's just this season. But I can't lie. Champions League was shit, man.
You said the Champions.
I'm really trying to be fair here because, and I'm not trying to like.
It's a tough one.
I'm not trying to like call out our fan base, and I'm just talking about football fans in general. They're very like hypocritical when it comes to this because the only reason why you rate some of the other big teams is based on just the Champions League, innit?
Champions League, yeah.
Because everyone mugs off the rest of their leagues. So if no one's paying attention to the league, or Barca win the season, man, we're like, oh yeah, it's Barca, and it's only Barca and Real Madrid who win it anyway. But they don't watch it, and then don't see that it's actually competitive. And Barca ain't turned up every week and been able to just like skip past people and not try. They've had to battle. They've been 10 points ahead. Then it's dropped. Then they're ahead again. So nobody rates it. Everyone calls all them leagues farmers leagues and all that. So the one thing they do represent and big up is the Champions League. Though that's the reason why everyone's got the false narrative about Real Madrid. I've been saying it. I've been there for the trenches.
The optics. That's what I say. Optically, Champions League is the better one.
Yeah, exactly. Because I've been there in the trenches with Real Madrid not winning no Champions Leagues, bro, for ages. After that Zidane volley, bro, it was time before winning the Champions League again.
Yeah.
But everyone's acting like, oh yeah, Madrid win it every season. No, they don't, bro. They really don't. It's been around for however many years and there's 15 of them. So the trophy, what means more is that just because you're seen as the best team in the world at that point. It's kind of funny that we say best team in Europe, don't you think? Considering nobody really, if you ask who do you think's on the best on the other side, on Nick's side of the world, nobody cares, bro. No offense to Nick. I just mean in general.
Only football fans. Only football fans.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, you know when people just say, like,
in Spain, in Italy.
Yeah. I'm always wondering, why don't they just say the world then? Because it's...
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean?
Even, like, bro, let's put it this way, yeah? Porto didn't get put on the map because they won the fucking league title in Portugal. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, they got put on the map because they won the Champions League. Like, that was...
But G, if you're saying that, sorry to interrupt, but if you're saying that, you then comparing the Premier League win the same as winning the Portuguese league then?
But that's the point. It doesn't matter what league you're in. Either way, the only teams that compete in these leagues are the leagues at the every top league around Europe, right?
And technically winning the Portuguese league is the same as winning the Premier.
If you looked in that, but just in terms of the leagues anyway, it doesn't really matter what league it is. Like, are we gonna sit here and say Ajax's team of the mid '90s is some shit, bro? What that was seen as the best team in the world because the Eredivisie was considered to be a top league. I don't even think it was even considered to be the best league. It was just considered to be a good league because it had Ajax in there and they were doing their thing. Same thing that Savage said about La Liga and Spain. It's only Real Madrid. I think these times, if you didn't watch Girona fucking, you know what I mean, beat Barcelona earlier on in the season, you wouldn't, you know what I mean, like you wouldn't even know these kind of things. So yeah, man, I just look at it has to be the Champions League to me. Like it's the most prestigious one, like out of the two kind of thing. Like I know everyone, Liverpool got 19 league titles, and you would say that because you got more of one. If you had more Champions Leagues than Premier Leagues, I promise you'd be screaming 19 Champions Leagues and six Prems. You would never even talk about the Premier League.
It's like the World Cup, isn't it? The World Cup's not a league, but if you win the World Cup, it's the biggest trophy you can ever get. Nobody cares about the fact that you didn't play 38 games. I think if you work it out properly, you only have to win. I mean, I'll say you have to win. You don't, because you can get through your group stinking it up and still win the World Cup. But if you want to be guaranteed, we have 7 wins in the World Cup and you've won it, bro.
Look at how we measure this season. Prime example, right? This probably even answers the question perfectly. We say Mo Salah can't win the Ballon d'Or, right? Because Liverpool got knocked out of the Champions League. These times in the Premier League, he's scoring umpteenth amount of goals, and we're all trying to base the Ballon d'Or winner on the Champions League win. Like that's how big winning the Champions League is that you could even win a Ballon d'Or, which is considered to be the highest trophy an individual can win in football all across the world. So I'm like, raw, like it's almost like the NBA season. Like you can kind of be a bit mid, like the Warriors, and kind of stinky, but then you get all the way to the playoffs, and then you fucking win. Now you're MVP.
NFL's the exact same team, bro. The best team in the season get mashed up in the playoffs and then don't win the Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah, you're just like, rah, is that how big the tournament is? Like you win this, and everyone propels you to this.
Do you
like,
think we okay? But I'm not going to disagree in terms of the Champions League because it's massive to win it. Do you think we're moving a bit snobbish now that we're like, rah, like winning the Premier League? Because that's the way it sounds. I'm not saying that's what you're saying.
You're asking to differentiate between the two.
Yeah. No, but it sounds as if like there's that happiness of like, yeah, this is the one that's bigger.
But you've given a hypothetical of if we win it. If Arsenal don't win it, all of these questions are only relevant anyway because it will just be seen as, well, we won the league, Arsenal didn't win anything. But if you had a choice, I'd look at it and think, bruv, the Champions League, like you went like bro, just imagine Liverpool, as Nick said, 04-05, bro, we won the Champions League. We finished behind Everton. I promise you, you did not care. I promise you, you didn't care. Like you didn't care. No one in Liverpool gave 2 shits. You know why? Because they can flash that. I've got the Champions League trophy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say, like, it's mad.
And to be fair, this view I got on the Champions League has always been the same. Like I've always thought this my whole life. Even when I didn't know what I was talking about in football, I just knew that Champions League was the big trophy.
Yeah, it's got the global. That's the thing. It's got the global reach. There's more prestige behind it, as we've said, and as G said as well. Like nobody gave a shit what Porto did in their league, winning it, whatever it was. Oh, they won the Champions League.
I don't even know that.
No one cares. Liverpool won their 20th. No one cares. Inter might win their 20-something Scudetto, whatever it is. No one cares. Barca are gonna go for a treble in the league over there with cups and all that sort of shit. There, so long as they win. Well, maybe they will win the treble, but so long as they win the Champions League, that's the end all be all there. For a lower team like Leicester back in the day, I say back in the day, fucking it was only 9-10 years ago, but them Champions League end all be all because they ain't done it. That was massive for them. For teams that have been there and done it before, yes, we need to retain that, but ultimately, if you've gone and done that, you have to be going for the European trophies, bro.
Yeah. Because you see, like if Zidane scored that volley in the 2002 final, but he just scored in the last day of La Liga, we won't be talking about it now.
No one gives a shit.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Is that a good answer, Enz? Are you happy with that?
No, listen, it's down to you guys, man. I'll see what the fan base say in the comments down below after, bro, as well, because there's a few guys disagreeing with what you guys are saying about the Premier League and stuff in the Champions League. The Champions League, I think the Premier League for me is bigger this season, bro. It means more this season than the Champions League.
As G said, context. As G said, context matters.
No, but not even that. You didn't even mention that. It was like, are you asking this specific? Is every question you're going to ask? Because it doesn't mention about this.
Yeah, I was just speaking overall. I wasn't speaking about
general. And we've all spoken about previous wins because we're talking about overall.
But obviously we're talking about this season. That's why I tailored the question at the start. Arsenal winning the Champions League and Liverpool, but that's why I started with the initial question.
I'm gonna lie, bro.
No, but then the question doesn't. You can't even ask the.
No, but the initial statement was, let's play as Liverpool's won the Prem, Arsenal's won the Champions League, and then these questions are tailored to that exact.
Yeah, you didn't say that though.
You didn't say that. Yeah, you definitely didn't say that. Bro. Like you got to be specific. You
didn't say, when we got to the next question, we just took it separate to the first question.
I thought we would have just carried on.
No, because that's why we all ended up because we all started speaking about like Champions League.
I said Porto with that. Like, how would I Porto?
I thought we was gonna stay because that's why I started off with the statement, which is let's.
Castro, you're right. Enz is being very fraudulent.
Yeah, bro. I mean, Red Star Belgrade won it in '91, bro. My man scored a winning pen. Nobody gave a shit about what they did.
Yeah, because them clips now are going to look stinky, bro. It's going to look like Enz the Liverpool fan, but is happy with us winning the league. But the other 3 Liverpool fans think that Arsenal's trophy means more. Obviously, the Premier means more to me than Arsenal Champions League.
I want Europe, lad. I want the Champions League. I want number 7.
It's always going to mean more to us because it's our trophy, isn't it? It's our team.
Yeah, literally.
Hey, listen, bro. You man said what you said, bro. Like, don't try and tell me that. You know what I mean?
That's AI, bruv. AI is dangerous, bruv.
Nah, man. Okay, which fan base would be the most happiest then?
Arsenal's
Oh,
done.
bro. Arsenal, bruv. No doubt. No doubt.
Simple. 100%.
No, I don't understand. Like, you guys actually think that they'll be
Yep.
more
Bro,
happier than the
we're
Liverpool
gonna
fans?
we're gonna be
It's their
buzzed.
first Champions
You know
League,
what
bro.
Arsenal fans are like, bruv? Castro in the chat right now is gonna be doing backflips for months if they win it, bruv. I'm telling you.
Bro, Ends, I don't know. You know what it is, bro? I swear, I stayed after the. Obviously, I didn't want to see what they had to say about the Real Madrid game, innit? But when I was listening to Arsenal fans after, when I heard how they were speaking, it was like they won the Champions League that day. And bro, I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, if they're like this already, if they win the Champions League, not to mention they've never won it before. Not to mention that Spurs might get knocked out of their Europa League, so it makes it extra fresh for them. It's like Spurs didn't win the Europa League and we've won. Oh my God, they're definitely going to be happier with all the Arteta out stuff. And if Arteta don't win the trophy this season, he should go from all the rival fans and all that. Oh my God! And then they can sit at the table, all them conversations that all these panel shows and us as well. When you're speaking to Arsenal fans, there's always a joke every show, innit? Yeah, okay, Arsenal, sit down a minute. You can't talk to us. You don't have a Champions League, like what we used to do to Man City. But with Man City, when they won the Champions League, with all due respect, actually nobody cared. Like, for rival, nobody actually cared when they won the Champions League. It was more like a relief for them. Like, finally, we've won it. So now we don't have to keep being told about you ain't won the Champions League. But guess what? Everyone done 115 charges. We don't care about your Champions League.
What it's gonna
Arsenal's
be. I think that's
different
what it's gonna be
because they're seen as being one of the bigger clubs in the historically bigger as well. They're only third on the list, I think, in Premier League titles compared to what's in it. There's Man U, us, and then Arsenal, and then they've got no Champions Leagues. So now it's like they win it, and all of a sudden Chelsea, they've got Champions Leagues, but now we've got one as well. Yeah, man, I can't, bruv. I'm not trying to see that still. Luckily, I don't live in London like you, man.
Real quick, I just typed in Grok. I said, which fan base would be happier, Liverpool's winning the Premier League or Arsenal winning the Champions League? This is Grok's AI answer, okay? So Liverpool fans would likely be happier winning the Premier League, obviously. Premier League is grueling season-long competition. Liverpool's last title was in 2020, ending a 30-year drought, blah, blah, blah. Fan base's emotional investment in domestic dominance, given the club's history and rivalry with Manchester United and others, makes a massive achievement. Arsenal fans would be thrilled with the Champions League title, their first ever, breaking a trophy drought since 2004. Which is false because I won FA Cup since then. Grok's just being fraudulent. However, Champions League, while prestigious, is a knockout competition with less consistent emotional investment over the season compared to the Premier League's relentless grind.
Hey, I don't know what the fuck it's talking about, bro.
No,
Liverpool's fan base, with his deep-rooted expectations of league success, would edge out Arsenal's euphoria for a one-off European triumph. That's what AI says.
That last comment is false anyway, because Liverpool are not used to winning the league, bro.
And just taking everything. And just taking it all into account, since you want to talk about this particular season, depending on what kind of Liverpool fan, depending if you've got PTSD and all that, or if you just didn't want to say anything, we've kind of been almost 90% sure we're going to win the league for months. So it's like, you can, like, even if you're excited, excitement will drop if you know something's won already, bro. Like, you know that you're closer to. Whereas Arsenal, it's literally felt like it's come out of nowhere, bro. When they got the Real Madrid draw, most of the Arsenal fans were saying it's done. There's no chance, it's over with. And all the rival fans were saying Arsenal got no chance of winning the Champions League. But obviously, based on your hypothetical, they would have the Champions League. So, and I said it yesterday, it's the last game of the season. It's the last in memory of the footballing season, and it does matter, bro. Like when we were happier when we won the Champions League. We were happier than Man City fans that season. We had finished a point behind them, and then was like, oh no, I can't believe we didn't win the Prem. We're gonna go win the Champions League because we had Spurs. And then you saw what happened, bro.
Was that happier or more relieved that we actually walked away with something?
I think happier, bro. I think happier.
Because there's a sense of relief because you're like, right, we pushed them so well in the season, and then we could have ended up with nothing.
I wasn't relieved when we won the Champions League. I was happy because remember the season before we lost in the Champions League final. So it's like big up Dean.
What's going on, people? Cool.
Big up Dean, bro.
Good.
We're chopping up a few questions, man. Man, are moving like Arsenal fans at the moment.
Ends is being fraudulent.
I'm not being fraudulent, bro. I'm asking a simple question.
We've been very objective in our answers.
Speak to me. What's going on? Speak to me.
I'm just asking, at the end of the season, Arsenal win the Champions League, Liverpool won the Premier League. That's where we're starting off with. So that's two things that's
Ooh.
happened. The questions around it I started off with was this one. Who had the most impressive season? So basing it off Arsenal winning the Champions League and Liverpool winning the Premier League.
You know what? I've got so much Arsenal fans around me. It's gonna annoy me, bro, because that's all I'm hearing right now. I need them not to win it. I don't want this discussion. I need them not to win it because it's gonna. The masses are gonna just swoop to Arsenal. I think our thing is crazy because it's a new manager. We came third last season. It's brilliant. Arsenal winning the Champions League for the first time. It's gonna be the biggest thing in world football ever. If you listen to Arsenal fans that are going on, it's gonna be the biggest thing ever to happen in world football. That's how it's gonna be perceived, and it's gonna eclipse anything we've done in our history. I'll tell you that now. I'm around Arsenal fans all the time, and the way they're talking is crazy. Like we ain't got 6 of them.
Yeah,
Alright,
it's like, we're gonna win it. You're not. It's like, yes, we know what it's like, but that's what we say. Win the damn thing first, then you actually know what it feels like once you've beaten Real Madrid and you've gone the distance, bro. That feeling is like no other.
Yeah.
All right. The next question was, which trophy means more?
To me, the league all day for me. See me, bread and butter. Then we can do other stuff after that. See me, it's always bread and butter for me. That's just me. Everyone else can whatever, but I'm always want my home cool, and then we can go Europe. Like bread and butter, and then we go further, man. Yeah, man, that's my team.
And I think you kind of answered this one already, man. Which fan base will be the most happiest? You've kind of answered that earlier. It'll be Arsenal. Talking about. All right, last question then, lads, man. What does this mean for Arne Slot and Mikel Arteta? So imagine Arne Slot won the Premier League. Mikel Arteta has now won the Champions League. Where does this take these two managers? In your own opinions, where do you think that goes in terms of like maybe transfers, maybe put for next season? Where do they stand in terms of, manager of the year? Because that will be up for contention as well. Who wins that? Stuff like that.
I don't think manager of the year will be bothered. Like what you do in the Champions League isn't concerned about what you do in the Premier League.
Yeah,
unless
but
you're like a European manager of the year, then yeah. But it's like I said, man. Liverpool at the moment, right now, as a fan base, we are in this situation right now. Some of us, not like I said, some people did, but the massive majority of people who didn't expect Liverpool to win the league, right? Mm-hmm. We're now at a situation where what the hell do we do next? Like, look at the way we're talking about transfers and players and reds. We're thinking, bruv, what do we like? Do we try and win it next year? Like, do we sign this guy to try and win it next year? Like, do we keep this guy? Like, where it's, I'll be honest, this is not what a team who wins Premier Leagues. This is not how they act at all in the slice. Never ever seen it in the history of the Premier League. Never, not once have I ever seen that. Even from teams who players are too old, I've still never seen it. This is crazy. Imagine winning the Premier League and there's so much doubt. There's so much like clouding. We're not even like, we can't even fully enjoy it because we're so concerned with what's happening next season. I'm not saying don't enjoy it, by the way, people. Go and enjoy it. But the reality is we just can't because we feel a way about players and manager and this, that, and the third. Arsenal, as I said before, they're already on this kind of trajectory. Yes, they finished. They've stayed still. They've stood still in finishing second this amount of times. But you look at their team and you say their team doesn't need nowhere near as much as Liverpool's team. No way. They've got all their big dogs at the team. No one's leaving. There's no Saka problem contract. There's no Gabriel, no Saliba, no Erdegaard, no Martin. Like, these guys are all tied down. They're all good. And all they're now thinking is, if I just add maybe like a player here, a player there, bang. Whereas we're talking like, yeah, we need this. We need a left back. We need a left winger. We need a striker. We might need a new midfielder. You know what? It'd be nice to get another centre back in. Come on, bro. Like, you look at the optics, as Nick said, and I'm like, bro, if I'm looking at Arsenal, I'm looking at them thinking, fucking hell, if they win the Champions League, like they might do exactly what we did, which is exactly the same position we were in, which was we don't need to add. Well, sorry, we need to add, but we don't need to add that many people. It's just add a piece in there, even though we didn't do it. So when I'm looking at Arsenal, I'm like, bro, it's the exact same thing right now. They're good right now. They don't have to worry about shit when it comes to their players. Just bring in your striker. Even if they just bought a striker and kept the exact same team, I feel like they'd still be stronger next season. Obviously, injuries play a part, so if they get injured, that's fair. But if no one got injured and it just played out how it normally does, bro, I feel like they'd be calm. We can't say that though. We're stressing as it is. Is Trent staying? Is it going? Get this player. Come on, man.
It's mad. It's mad what you're saying because we're top. We should be going to win the league, and we need a massive rebuild. This team is a whole rebuild. It's crazy. We are run so bad. It's mad. We should have been putting blocks in season by season, so we're not at this stage where we got to do a massive rebuild. We don't know what's going to happen next. Like you said, we don't know what's going to happen next season. Like my thing is this: like I want to go and regain the Premiership. Like, if I don't win nothing else but the Premiership, I'll be happy next season. Like if we can retain it, I'm happy with that. You get me? I'm not greedy. Like if we can do that, like for once, yeah, in the what's it called, recent history, I'll be happy with that. Then we can build after next season. That's what I'm on because I know next season we're gonna get there. I know we're not gonna do enough in the transfer window already. I know that already. I'm not even gonna get my hopes up or anything like that. I'm just gonna burst everyone's bubble now. We know what's gonna happen. We're gonna be hoping for this player, that player, this player, and we know we're gonna get certain players. I'm saying players like we're gonna get 2 players. What we even lying to ourselves about? Like we're gonna get 4 or 5 players. We're gonna get 2 players, and then we'll be pissed off. And we're gonna get injuries. Van Dijk's 33, Salah's 33. It's gonna be a mess. I know that already. I don't want to sound negative, but bruv, it's the club just gives me this. It does my head in. And now the whole Arsenal thing, it's like it's too much people around me. It's annoying me, bro. You get me? It's getting too loud. The Arsenal noise is getting way too loud for my liking, bro. It's too much.
So what about you, Nick and Sam, man? What does that mean if Arteta actually goes and crosses the finish line and win a big trophy like the Champions League, but Arne Slot comes in his first year and win the Premier League?
Well, it's still Arne Slot's first attempt at winning something. It'll be Mikel's 5th season here. So, yes, FA Cup, I wasn't his squad, whatever. Well, this isn't Arne Slot's squad either. So you're going to spin the same narrative in that case. You're going to say, well, he won it, but it wasn't his team. It was Klopp's team. But he's still the manager. If Klopp only got us 3rd last season with the drop-off that we had in the last 8 games, and the year before that, we came, close and whatever it was and finished in 5th, and the year before that, or whatever, it goes to show that he did something to change the way we play or whatever it was, keep us consistent, to take out the league. Whereas Arteta, maybe he was changing his tactics. Okay, maybe they had some injury issues, like we had injury issues and shit like that. Maybe they just weren't set for a Premier League, but they were more than set for a Champions League. Maybe his tactics suit, short knockout phases better than going the distance sort of a thing there. It could be different things. But if Mikel wins, then Arsenal fans and rival fans can't say anything else after that. Say he's won it. Like, that's it. And that's pretty much all I want to see Arsenal do. Win something, shut everybody up, be as loud as you want to be, because we're all the same. We're all insufferable pricks when our teams win. We know this firsthand. Be as loud as you want, win your shit, and then do it again the season after, and then build on that. But I was listening to who was it? Fucking Big Steve earlier before on the 6 show, and he was saying, like, even if you win the Champions League, but because you haven't won stuff along the way, no little cups or FA Cups here and there, like, this is a pressure cooker now. You have to make this work. Yeah, this is as close as you come to a cup run since the FA Cup win 5-6 years ago now. So they have to make this stick. If they do, Arteta gets his praise, he gets his flowers, and then it's like, okay, well, where do we go from here next season? Do we want to win the Champions League again, or do we say, let's win the league? We know we can do a Champions League. We've done that. Monkey off the back. Cool, no worries. That can get in the bin. Now let's go win the league. For Slot, it's a matter of getting his players in, implementing his style and shit like that. And if that backfires, if that goes wrong, well, fuck, maybe we need to rethink our manager as well. I hope it doesn't. But there's always those conversations you got to think, bro. And new players come in, system gets changed around a little bit there. You never know, man. This is football after all.
What about you, Seth?
So what's next for Arteta and Slot if they both win the respective?
Yeah, to say they both pick up their trophy. So what does it mean for Arne Slot and Mikel Arteta if he wins the Champions League, he wins the Premier League? Where does that take us going forward?
Funny enough, I don't think it changes much for Liverpool. In terms of the way we do transfers, the players that we can attract, and I think we've always maintained the same kind of level of people we can attract, and we're always going to pay people whatever wages which other teams can pay more. And for Arteta and his Arsenal team, maybe it increases his pulling power a little bit. I mean, obviously, winning the league for Liverpool puts Arnold's his name on the map a little bit more. For people that didn't know who he was prior to this season, who wasn't watching that league. But for Arteta and Arsenal, I think it ups their stock a little bit because they've already been in whatever title race for the last 3 years, and there or thereabouts in it. So it's like, as G said at the beginning of the show, their trajectory on what they're building seems like it's been worth it, innit? Like all that stuff of Arteta telling stick with me and don't worry, I'll do this and all that. And he had because I remember that interview that he had, and he said that he had it didn't work out for him, but I think he said he had like a 4-year plan or 5-year plan or something. And when they were top of the table in the final running of the previous season, it's like, oh, it's going ahead of plan, but then they didn't win the league, innit? So then it's like, well, you've set that out now. You've let everyone know you had this plan. And the way he broke it down was right as well. Like when he was going season by season, I'm like, oh, that actually makes sense what he's trying to do year on year. But I don't think the Arsenal fans will care. A year out and they've won the Champions League, which is the biggest trophy. And the fact that they're still second and they've been in the title race, not this season as such, but the previous other two, it'll give them the impetus to go on the next season. And it's like, okay, when we're offering people contracts or trying to get people in our club, now you can see the fruits of the labour in it, of what I've put in, of what I've implemented. I'm giving young players a chance. The team's young anyway. We've got some of the best players around. Their players were going to be named differently. Saka will be seen different across the world now instead of being Saka from the English league. Yeah, I mean, people like Declan Rice are now going to be seen different now because they've won the Champions League, and it changes everything about you, man. And then, they might be able to just that big player that you didn't think Arsenal could have got before, because why would they go and play for Arteta? Changes very quick. And for both managers, they haven't been managers at the top level for very long. And remember, Arteta was he was Guardiola's number 2 while we've been watching. So it's going to be impressive from both of them, but just for the perception, not so much what I think, but the perception from the outside world, football world, and the media, because media's the main thing, really. It's all going to go towards Arteta, not Slot, because it feels like, because everyone's been aware that Liverpool's going to win the league already. Once Arsenal went like 13 points behind, all of a sudden that's when all the media teams started talking about, well, how good's the league been and all this stuff. They weren't saying it before that. They waited for Arsenal to be like, yeah, they're definitely not going to do anything now. So because of that, it's like they've already given Liverpool the praise early. Like we're supposed to get the praise at the end of the season when we've mathematically won, but it feels like they've already done it. And the praise wasn't even that much. So it's like, it's kind of done for us now, isn't it? Which means it kind of underwhelms what Slot's done. Obviously, when the season's won, they're going to speak about it, but it's not going to be all these crazy video packages and all these adverts and that. But Arsenal, if they win the Champions League, it's going to be everywhere. Not to mention, it's Arsenal, it's London, isn't it? It's the capital city of England. It's one of the big cities when you're thinking of world football and stuff like that. So attracting players for them was always a little bit better than us anyway, even though we're a better team, because people want to come and live in London. And now they've got this, bro. So, yeah. It's crazy, man.
Right. I saw that tweet you did earlier, G, and then we'll wrap it up, about just quoting what Arne Slot said, and he was talking about big summer and what does it mean. We spent like the last couple of days speaking about what does the big summer mean, spending. And he goes, I think at Liverpool it's always a big summer by holding on to 2.
What? Hold on, wait. What happened? What did you? How did you hold on? Wait a minute.
Don't be surprised, bro. This was always going to happen. I told man this yesterday, bro.
I've been critical of this as well, bro. I've been critical too, man.
By holding on to 2, which is Salah and obviously Virgil. It's already a big summer. Let's see what the rest of the summer will bring.
I knew it.
That's what
I say, when they re-signed, I'm like, this is good. We're keeping the spine here. This is good. But this isn't the signings of the summer. We need to add more players to them. We need new centre-backs, wingers, midfielders, forwards, etc., left back, right back. Add to the squad. This isn't the transfer done before fucking transfers have been done, bruv.
I'm going to bust up when next season we sign a left back and maybe a forward. We just
That's
chilled.
That's it.
I'm gonna just laugh.
That's exactly what I think.
That's it.
I'm
That's
gonna cry.
Trust me,
No,
man,
Dean,
I'm
you don't need
giving
to
you
cry,
worldly
because you
advice,
already
bro.
know.
Just
Already know.
expect less, and then if you're surprised, you'll feel way better about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't be disappointed,
All
bro.
of this war
Low
chest business and
expectations.
all that stuff. Like every time man told me that I'm being pessimistic, it's not, bro. It's experience of being a fan of this club. Like once you see a pattern emerging, you're like, okay, well, I know how our clubs run now. Everyone knows how our clubs run. So when he said, and again, he said the same thing what he said at the beginning of the season. He said he was happy with the team at the beginning of the season. Everyone's like, oh, why didn't FSG give him players? Because he said he was happy with them. And now we're towards the end of the season, and he said, I can't lie. I would be lying if I said I'm not happy with this team. He's happy with the team. Bro. I told man, bro.
I'm done.
He said it would be Sergio Bicetic and
Sergio Bicetic.
This is what I'm saying, bro. We're good.
He said it would be strange if I said I am not happy with the team.
It'd be strange if I said I'm not happy with the team.
Don't worry about it, guys, man. Don't worry about it, man. Isak's on his way, innit?
Nah.
Well, Sam, don't just throw him in there.
That's all everyone cares about. Isak is on his way, man. Don't worry about it, bro.
Nah, we need more than a striker, bro.
You say Isak?
We need more than a striker, brother.
I don't trust this club that much. Like, if we got Isak and only him, I'd be gassed, bro.
I'll be gassed if we got. I'll be gassed as well if we only got Isak. I'll be happy.
Rate their transfers, bro. That I'm like, yeah, I'll just be gassed if we get Isak alone, bro.
I'll be gassed if we got Isak.
Let me play host for a second here. Pretend I'm ends. I've got dreadlocks and shit, right? If we sign Isak with the same squad next season, do we go challenge again?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll challenge. Not about winning it. We'll challenge.
Yeah, we're not winning. Yeah, challenge.
Is it about challenging or going to retain it?
The problem is like I don't know. It's going to depend on what the other teams do if they strengthen their squad. And some teams
they're going to strengthen.
So the thing is, some teams have already spent loads of money, so they might need to strengthen their manager, not their squad, because they've spent stupid money, FFP and all that. We'll see what happens with that.
Talking about Chelsea by any chance, are you?
Yeah, I'm definitely talking about Chelsea. Chelsea do worry me because I feel like if they just get a manager who's already got an idea for them, it's a problem because they've got so many players. But
how about you know what? How about they just keep Maresca for one more season instead of just changing after
keep Maresca, get another striker so if Jackson's in, and then get a goalkeeper, bro, and then see what the difference.
Definitely the goalkeeper.
They winning not with Sanchez in goal, but that can't be a thing.
Yeah,
I feel like changing the goalkeeper is more important for them than getting a new striker.
It's way more important.
Like they can get goals. Like, the goalkeeper thing is mad.
Chelsea might need, you know that transfer that we had. You know we just had the Alisson and Virgil one, and he transferred and everything. They just
two players. That's it. Centre back, keeper, or striker, keeper. Maybe that's it.
I am with you. Like the team that worries me the most. Well, not worries me. Man City is always going to worry me because the Man City, bro, they've had a down season. But I don't see Arsenal getting worse from this point. I don't think there was a period a season ago when I was like, hopefully Arsenal get bad again soon. And I'm like, no. The couple of title races, which is some kind of progression, and then progression in the Champions League. I don't think they're going to win the Champions League, but progression in the Champions League instead of not getting into the Champions League is a thing. Mm-hmm. If they go on next season, and I'm like, we're talking about Isak, but what if, first of all, Isak's probably going to start at Newcastle. But if he doesn't, what if he ends up at Arsenal, bro?
Where's he going?
That's a night. If he ends up at Arsenal, it's a mess.
We have a strong chance of getting him as well. Why can't we get him as well?
No, I didn't say we won't. I said
you know who our owners are. Ends. Do you know who our owners are?
I didn't say we won't get him. I said if.
That's what I heard, Sam. That's what I heard.
I'm doing the selective hearing thing, but
that's what it's selective hearing, bro. Is it a bias thing? Yeah,
that's what I heard, bro. It felt like he said we weren't going to get him. I see. Obviously, he's talking about number 9. He said in the end, it helps if a number 9 of Liverpool scores goals.
Man's throwing shade at Darwin.
Is that what he said? He actually said that.
Piss out the mandem still.
Wow. I didn't watch it, so I didn't even know.
Hey, those words are more on target than what Darwin's had this whole season, bro.
Yeah, that's hilarious, bro.
That's crazy, bro. Imagine airing out your number 9 in public, bro.
He said simple one is goals. You need to produce goals, but a part of that, in modern football, number 9 has to work hard and be a part of an intense pressing team. A Champions League semi-final work, they must have swore, and then they blanked that out. Can I say that? He said, in the end, it helps if a number 9 of Liverpool scores goals. That is the short answer.
That's what I want to hear.
Jota as well. Maybe Jota as well.
Yeah, we're going to go for them.
Aketic, is that who we're gonna get? Yeah, number 9.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay. If we be super optimistic, and go, listen, Liverpool won the league. Here's Slot, man. You deserve this, man. Little gift for you, man. Extra couple million, like do your thing. It's still gonna be. We know what type of players in it. We don't have to mention names.
It's not your ready-made players. It's not your win now players. It's going to be let's bleed them into the squad.
I still don't know how great Slot is as a manager yet. He's definitely a good manager, and I've got that sorted now. He's won the league, bro. But I don't know how good he is because I don't know what he wants to implement. His style might be worse than the style he's playing now. For all we know.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said.
That's true. That's true. It might be worse.
It should be, but it could be worse, bro. So, and I'm thinking of like the kind of players that he might sign. We might lose players, so just by that we can get new players, and we need to get numbers in as well. And then we've got a youth setup as well, where it's probably going to use a couple of them. Brother, I put it this way: I don't. You see the level? I said it before, but the level that Jota was at when we got him, that's the level of players I'm thinking we're signing. Nothing more.
Okay.
And I like Jota Wolves, but I don't think anything more than that. So any teams you're looking at in the leagues and that you're like, oh, he's kind of good on the odd day. Them kind of players, bro.
Exactly.
So
that's what I think. Who?
Yeah.
So Semenyo.
I'll take. Listen,
man's going in.
I'll have Semenyo all day. But I'm hearing us linked to Simmons and.
Whoa! What's wrong with Simmons, bro?
Yeah, maybe
nothing but
Frimpong, Simmons.
Don't excite me. It don't excite me.
See, Nick, what you're doing there. Man said Simmons and then Frimpong and that. I told you, like, already, I don't want no more Dutch players, bro. But that's what's gonna happen.
That's what exactly what's gonna happen.
It happens, man.
Yeah, man. Man, gonna turn us into 80s tangerines and that. Blood. I'm not trying to see like, brother.
He's tangerine, bro.
Yeah, bro. And you see that exactly what you're thinking about up front, bro. Just.
We're trying to bring total football back, bro. We're trying to bring total football back.
And then £60 million striker, that's the most you're getting. Yeah.
You're going to get Cunha. You're going to get something similar to that Cunha up front.
I like Cunha. I like
him. Five players.
Man. We need 2 players. If they go out now and go and get me a Baleba and Cunha, all right. I'm not angry no more. Because you can push McAllister up into a 10 and you can have Baleba and Gravenberch doing cooking. I don't mind that. And then you got the Cunha dropping back and whatever. I don't mind that if you do that. But if you just buy Cunha and a left back, I'm going to be pissed.
Two players ain't enough, bro. Three minimum 5.
This team won the Premier League, so 2 players is enough, right? If this team,
what happened last time? What happened last time that happened? What happened last time we won the league and we bought 2 players in? What happened then?
I know that Sepp Vandenberg was one.
Wasn't Kabak and fucking Ben Davies, bro. Let's not happen that
crazy.
Again.
Yeah, but up to that, I hear it. But up to that point, we were still top of the table in January, and that's when it went all mad.
Yeah, we didn't sign players, bro. That's why.
Yeah, we didn't sign players.
Yeah, but we're signing players. Two comes in, Bajcetic comes back, Ben Doak. That's
the thing is, the likelihood is we're signing players with players leaving on it because that's good business. So we're not getting extra numbers; we're just getting the same numbers, and you're hoping for more quality. But I'm thinking the quality is going to be there or thereabouts the same. It might start off exciting. It's going to be there or thereabouts. Still frustrating in parts. Still good.
Yeah.
Hey, the league as it was this season. We might win the league again with the same team. So, hey.
But the only problem is the team. Everyone knows Gravenberch now. It's not like Gravenberch could be a surprise next season. Everyone knows our midfield next season now. And you've seen what people are doing. They squeeze in the midfield, making us go on the outside. They know what they're doing now. So we can't go with the same surprise midfield next year. So, Rob, we need players because this football we're doing right now, Rob, it's not going to work next season. It's not going to work for the whole of next season. We're getting through games now. It's fine. But next season, we can't go through the whole season with that free midfield for the whole of the season. We need a destroyer. We need someone that can beat people up in midfield. I've had enough of this bullying thing. Like everyone just here bullying, man. Like especially the Newcastle. I hate going to play Newcastle. I hate it. And then, man, are just stepping on my players, and then it's fine. You get me?
You see when the Adidas advert drops with Jaden Dan's new contract and that's our striker. I'm just like,
Yeah, do you know what?
No.
On that note, I'm gonna end it, bro, because I ain't trying to hit. Do you know what I need to do? I need to do a top Reds versus bottom Reds stream. I think that's what the next stream I need to do. I need to get the top Reds about and the bottom Reds
Any
about.
man who's willing to be part of a bottom red blood, crazy business.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Sounds nasty.
Imagine your messages on people on Twitter. Yeah, we need you on the panel. Need you to be part of the bottom Reds panel.
Reds.
What?
No, I don't think I'll say. No, what I'm not gonna do is say what side you're on. Throughout the conversation, depending on what you're saying, you get shift.
He's doing one of those ones. It's like pick the fan sort of a things. Yeah, I
you
see what
pick
he's
the side
doing.
you want to be on, bro. Like, you know, ask the same questions again, bring them back up, see what people are saying. You know what I mean? What do you
Let me know the day you do that show so I can go to the gym, blood, because I ain't trying to be.
Shit. Big up
I want
to
no
Mandem,
part
bro.
of this.
Nah, big up to
Hold on.
Mandem.
1 second. I just say one more thing. I put a tweet
Go on.
out today. People wanted to say something to me. I just said, all I said to them is, well done to the 4 English teams for getting into the semis of the 3 respective European competitions. Yeah, well done. I said to them. Maybe the Premiership ain't so bad, yeah, or is it that the European Cups ain't that good? But I wasn't being salty. Everyone's letting them know. I'm just saying, well done. All I'm saying, because everyone's saying the Premiership rubbish here, but we've got 4 English teams in 3 European Cup semis. That's all I'm saying. So when they want to run a narrative, just remember them narratives there. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, people want to tell me.
Teams, eh? Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man, England's rubbish. The league's rubbish this season, but we got 4 English clubs. All right, cool, no problem. Just I can't wait to the end of the season. I want to hear people say stuff because I'm ready. I'm ready for everyone. I've got words for everyone.
All right, say less, man. Listen, Nick's channel is in the description. Dean's channel is obviously in there as well, and Savage's channel and G's channel is in there. I'm gonna see what's popping for later, man. I might have to do a different conversation because I know it felt like we didn't really have the Liverpool fans on the panel today, but it is what it is. Felt like we had Arsenal fans on there today, but yeah, can't pick them. Big up to the man, them as always. Love for the love. Big up to the chat. Love for the love.
Fraudulent, bro. This guy.
I'll catch you guys in a bit. Peace.